January 12, 1204. Picture Constantinople, the jewel of the medieval world, blanketed in a heavy winter snow. Its legendary walls stood proud, its golden churches shimmered, and its people held an unshakable faith that their city was under God's protection. But just beyond those walls, an army was gathering, and these weren't the enemies they expected. They were fellow Christians. They were crusaders. This was the Fourth Crusade. It had all started with the familiar, noble goal of retaking Jerusalem. But years had passed, and the Holy Land remained a distant dream. Instead, the crusade found itself tangled in a web of debt, politics, and raw ambition. The Crusaders owed a fortune to the Venetians, who had provided the ships for their journey. With empty pockets, they were forced to make a deal, fight Venice's enemies in exchange for passage. Then, another deal came along. A deposed Byzantine prince named Alexios Angelos appeared, offering a tantalizing promise. Help him reclaim his throne in Constantinople, he said, and he would shower the Crusaders with money, supplies, and military aid for their holy war. The Crusaders, desperate and indebted, agreed. They successfully took the city in 1203, and Alexios was crowned. But the celebration was short-lived. The imperial treasury was bare. The people of Constantinople were furious with the new emperor and his foreign backers. The city was a tinderbox, and soon, fires raged through its streets. By January 12, 1204, any shred of trust had completely evaporated. On that fateful day, the leaders of the crusade gathered and swore a new, chilling oath. If the promised payment didn't come, they would take it themselves, by force. This was the point of no return. The mission was no longer about rescue or alliances. It was a cold, calculated decision to turn against the greatest Christian city in the world. From the Crusaders' perspective, it was a matter of survival. They were starving, unpaid, and surrounded by a hostile population. But for Constantinople, this oath was a death sentence. In the months that followed, things went from bad to worse. Alexios was overthrown and murdered. All attempts at negotiation failed. Finally, in April 1204, the Crusaders breached the walls and stormed the city. The result was one of the most brutal sacks in medieval history. Churches were desecrated, priceless relics were stolen, ancient statues were melted down for coin, and countless civilians lost their lives. The Byzantine Empire, a beacon of civilization for 1,000 years, was shattered and would never truly recover. But on that cold day, January 12th, none of that had happened yet. It was simply the moment when a line was crossed, a moment when an oath sealed a city's fate. We often think of medieval history as a grand clash between different faiths, but the story reveals a harsher truth. Sometimes the raw forces of power, money, and desperation were far more powerful than any religious belief. January 12, 1204. An oath sworn in winter, marking a city for ruin. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by these hidden moments in history, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We'll be back tomorrow with another date and another piece of the past.